guys, so today's video is different. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kimmy or Kimberly. I prefer Kimmy, but whatever. I typically do beauty videos. I'm really into that whole thing. I guess your typical beauty guru. But I also struggle with anxiety and depression. And I feel like with that, I criticize myself a lot, and I feel a lot that I'm a failure. And I want to just talk about these things. I want to just be open and raw and real with you guys. And I have done an anxiety video before, and I will leave that link in the description box. You guys can go watch that video. But in this video, I'm going to be way more open about my thoughts and about my life path, and tell you guys things that I really have only told a very, very select few people. And I'm doing this not for pity or whatever. I'm doing this because I want to help other people that may be going through the same thing that I am. I want to show people that I am not perfect and nobody's perfect. And even though we come on here and we apply makeup and our hair is done and we put on cute clothes and we have like these lights and cameras and things like that, doesn't mean that our life is perfect by any means. And I am a prime example. Ooh, I just messed up my shirt. I am a prime example of that. And I just don't want any of my subscribers especially, or anybody that watches my videos, to think that I think that I'm better than anybody else, or that, you know, I don't want them to think that my life is perfect, because it's just not. And that's not the reality of things. And I just really want to help anybody that's struggling, because I struggle too, and I just want to let you guys know that it's okay. So first and foremost, if you're struggling with anxiety or depression, or being disappointed with yourself, or feeling you're a failure, you are not alone. There are a lot of people that feel this way, and it's okay. I know that the subject is very difficult for a lot of people to talk about, because there are a lot of people that don't understand it, and that's fine. But I also feel like it needs to be brought to light, and there needs to be more awareness about this video. And I don't know who's going to see this video. I don't know how many people are going to watch this video. I wish this would reach a big audience, but it may only reach 10 people. And as long as it just helps one person, I'm okay with that. But I feel like this whole subject needs to be brought to people's attention, and awareness needs to be brought to mental illness. So I have been struggling with anxiety and depression for a really long time. My anxiety has gotten worse over the past couple of years. My depression has pretty much stayed the same. I go in and out of depression, and I get depressed very, very easily and quickly. I am very harsh on myself, and I'm also a very sensitive and emotional person. So I constantly am feeling like a failure and feeling like I'm not good enough, and it just totally sucks. I feel that society makes us feel that we need to do certain things to be successful, and if you don't go to college, you're not successful, and if you're not married by this time and then have kids, you're doing it all wrong, and if you get a GED, you're stupid, or whatever. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I am 22 years old, just turned 22 on Monday. I just got my GED in March. So I was 21 years old and I got my GED. I think that that right there can kind of explain to you guys where I'm at in my life. Nowhere near where I thought I was going to be at this age in my life and at this point in my life, and that's okay. It's something that I'm dealing with, that I'm coping with every day, and I'm learning to, I guess, accept. Not many people know that I have a GED and that I didn't finish high school, and that I was technically a high school dropout. I am not going to get too into that. If you guys would like a story time video, I really want to do a story time video on that, because there's a lot of things that played into that, and I want to talk about the process of getting a GED and all of that, and I want people to know that it's alright and there's nothing to be ashamed about. I spent so many years being ashamed of that, and here I am finished, and I feel so much better about myself. So like I said, I get depressed very easily, and a lot of that has to do, for me, my depression stems from my anxiety, but also from me not being where I want to be in life, that's like one of the biggest things that triggers my depression. Is I see everybody around me succeeding, especially with YouTube. I am just going to tell you guys like what I want to do and where I'm trying to go and a little bit about my life. So basically, I do not have a job. I do YouTube, which I do not get paid for. I have gotten paid for, but it's so sparse and a very small amount because, you know, my views and all that. I don't, you know, I'm not going to get too into that, but, because that's not what this video is about. But, I have not gotten a job. I actually have not had a job in many years. One, because of my GED, I was trying to finish that. I really needed to get that done and, you know, accomplish that part of my life and get that part of my life, like, you know, kind of closed and basically close that chapter of my life. And two, because of my anxiety and depression. To be quite honest, am terrified to get a normal job anywhere. I have very bad social anxiety as well as just general anxiety. And I honestly am terrified that I will not be able to go to work one day. I will have to call in sick because I have such bad anxiety or depression, because my anxiety causes a lot of like physical problems with me. Like I feel nauseous 24/7. When I have anxiety, I just feel so nauseous. That's like one of my main symptoms that I get when my anxiety triggers is just nausea, and it's so terrible. And it's just really bad. So I'm really scared to get a job because of that, but also because I am afraid that I will have a panic attack in the middle of work and I will get fired or what have you. But I also am trying to focus on my goals and my aspirations, and I'm trying to accomplish some things as well. And I know you guys are like, how are you going to be accomplishing anything if you don't have a job? Because I want to do YouTube. I would love to have YouTube as a full-time job. And that, I feel like being in YouTube and being a part of the YouTube community, whether I am well known or not, is something difficult, because you see all these people, especially on YouTube, that are succeeding at this and they're doing a good job, and there's a lot of people my age and even younger that are doing so well and this is their full-time job, and I can't help but feel down about myself and feel that, you know, I am not doing good enough, or my videos aren't good enough, and I constantly am trying to improve them, and I constantly, you know, am trying not to compare myself to other people. It's a constant battle and struggle for me not to compare myself to everybody else on YouTube and, oh, well, this person is doing so great and this person just got like so many subscribers and is doing so well and got this opportunity and all of this, and it's hard. It's so difficult. But I have had to learn that in order for anybody to succeed at anything that they want and for you to accomplish your goals, you have to work your butt off at it. And you cannot sit here and pity yourself every day and feel bad for yourself every day and constantly compare yourself to everybody else. If you want something, you have to go for it. And, you know, I understand if you need your day or two to cry and be depressed because you're not where you want to be in life, or so whatever situation you may be feeling in that moment, you can have your day or two. I have those days, but you have to get back up and you have to continue to push yourself. You will get nowhere. You will not accomplish your dreams if you do not believe in yourself and if you're not pushing yourself. You cannot let your depression and your anxiety get to you so bad where you are not doing what's best for yourself. And I know that it's difficult and I know that it's hard, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, a lot of people in my life think that I am nuts, I guess, because rather than having a 9-to-5 job, I am actually going for the dreams and goals that I want and am not making any money from it, but I'm still doing what I love because I'm passionate about it. And there is potential for this to become my job. It is possible, and it is going to happen because I believe in myself. and I don't doubt my abilities. I do think that I will be successful at this one day. In fact, I know I will, just because I will not stop until I succeed. Failure is not an option for me. And that is something that I struggle with. You know, there are days when I'm like, I'm doing so good on my videos, and I'm like, man, I am uploading, I am recording, things are great, and then the next day I won't have any video ideas, and I will be so harsh on myself, and I will just be like, you know what, this is why you're not succeeding, because you don't have any videos. You should have been prepared for this, you should have planned for that. And you know, I go through days like that, and the main point of this is that if you guys have those days, it's okay. You just have to learn how to pick yourself back up and continue to push forward and try to achieve your goals and your dreams. And you know, I am sure some of the most successful people out there still feel like failures in some part of their life. Like, everybody has these thoughts, and everybody goes through things like this, and it's completely normal. Criticism from other people is incredibly difficult to deal with. Like I said, I know, because a lot of my personal family members and people that I know in my personal life, I know, wish that I would do something different and would, you know, go get a job here, there, or wherever, or go to school and do things that way. And I know in my heart that that's not for me, and that's fine. And that's another thing that I want to stress, is that you need to do what makes you happy. You cannot look at your parents, you can't look at your grandparents, you can't look at your sisters and your family and your friends and have them telling you that what you're doing is wrong, and have them saying that, you know, well, that's going to take you forever, or you're not going to succeed at that, or that's like a 1 in a million chance, like good luck with that. You can't let even the closest people to you, and even the person that you look up to the most, tell you things like that and get into your head. If you believe something will happen for you, it's going to happen, because you're going to push at it until you get it. And I cannot thank my mom enough for being like my #1 supporter always, besides my fiance and my sisters. My mom constantly gives me support and love. I am gonna be honest with you guys, there are days where I'm texting her and I am just like crying and I'm upset, and I'm like, my life sucks, I'm the biggest failure, you know, I'm getting nowhere in life, like I haven't gotten anywhere yet, it's not gonna happen for me, like this is just not it. And my mom will immediately snap me out of it, and I feel like it's very important to have those people in your life. And my mom will be like, no, Kimmy, you're not a failure. What is going on here? There's a fly. You are not a failure. You are going to succeed. You have to continue to push yourself, though. You can't give up. And, you know, I have to snap out of it, and I have to stop pitying myself and feeling bad for myself, because it's not going to get me anywhere. Like I said, if you need those days, take them, but get up and do what you need to do. Even if it's hard. And I just feel like everybody needs someone that they can talk to about their depression and their anxiety and how they're feeling, because I don't talk to many people about it. My mom, my sister, and my fiance are the 3 main people that I go to when I'm struggling. There are a lot of people that I don't talk to about my anxiety and my depression, because they just don't get it. They just don't get it. And it's sad, and I try to, I guess, in my own way, educate people about it. And I try to take a stand for myself when I'm not comfortable with something. And that's the one thing that makes me the most annoyed, is when I tell people I'm not comfortable with doing something because of my anxiety, and they automatically just think that I don't want to do it because I don't know. I guess they assume that I'm just trying to get out of something, just because of whatever reason, just because I don't want to do it or whatever, and they just don't understand. And then, you know, I'm asked by somebody else, oh, well, would you just do it like this, or could you just do it just because, you know, whatever. And I'm not even gonna get into details, but I find that so disrespectful and rude. And that's one thing that I just want to talk to you guys about also, is that if you have someone in your life that doesn't understand your anxiety or your depression, do not let them make you feel guilty for saying no for things that you're uncomfortable with, or that is going to trigger your anxiety. That is something that I have had the biggest and hardest time with, is people, in my opinion, I don't think they mean to, but they are disrespecting me by asking me to do things that I've clearly stated I'm uncomfortable with, and that will trigger my anxiety. And I am someone that is, I hate saying no to people. It is something that I have a very actually hard time doing, and people know that and they try to take advantage of it, and it's actually so infuriating to me. I just cannot say no to people's faces. I just can't, like, I don't know why. I am honestly trying to get better about it. But that's something that I think that as, you know, someone with anxiety and depression, that is also a pushover. Like, I'm trying to teach myself, as well as trying to, you know, tell you guys now that you can't let people do that to you. If you are uncomfortable with something, if it's going to trigger your anxiety or your depression, put your foot down and say no. Like, I don't care. I'm in the point in my life where, like, I don't care who it upsets, or if it, you know, if it pisses somebody off or makes somebody mad. I have to do what's best for me. And there are a lot of things that trigger my anxiety. There are a lot of things that will push me into a panic attack if I'm not careful. And I have to say no. And there are certain circumstances that I will, you know, I can try to push myself a little bit. I'm not saying you should ever let your anxiety rule your life and your depression rule your life at all. Do not let your anxiety and your depression put you in like a really deep state of just like where you don't ever do anything and whatever. And I have gotten into that, and I am slowly trying to get myself out of that. But also don't push yourself to the point where you are going to completely, you know, flip your lid or whatever. And you know, I try to say yes to certain things that I know I can do. I just have to, you know, calm myself down and, you know, tell myself everything's going to be okay and do them. But don't ever let anybody make you feel guilty for saying no to something that is going to trigger your anxiety or your depression. That is something that I've really struggled with, and I'm learning to, you know, say no to people. And sorry, but this is my life, and I am the one that deals with my depression and my anxiety. You are not. So you're not allowed to make me feel guilty for saying no, for something that makes me uncomfortable or gives me anxiety or whatever. So I definitely feel like being honest and being true to yourself is something that's very important when you have anxiety and depression, because like I said, just certain people don't understand it, and they just think that they can get away with like, oh, well, maybe if they do it this way, they'll be okay. And sometimes, like, my biggest thing is just, if you are uncomfortable, say no. Like, you don't have to explain yourself, and that's another big thing. I have such a hard time, like, I feel like I have to explain myself. Yeah, it's because of this, that, and the other. Like, I need to stop doing that. Like, you don't have to explain yourself to anybody. You do what's best for you because it's what's best for you. And you should never have to explain yourself to people because of that. And I, once again, am learning this myself. So, you know, there are days, like I said, when I feel so upset with myself, and I just constantly am thinking about where I'm not. And, you know, I just am so hard on myself, and I am my own worst critic. Like, oh my gosh, I could literally criticize everything that I do all day long. But at the same time, you have to give yourself credit for what you've already accomplished and what you are doing with your life, and you can't focus on the negatives all the time. You have to look at the positives, and like I said, I know it's easier said than done, but I feel like if more people are willing to stand up and talk about this, and are willing to share their stories and share what helps them, then we can all slowly work our way to becoming healthier mentally. which is something that I feel like this whole world needs. Like, we all need to be more understanding and less judgmental and less, you know, there needs to be less can I say the word? There needs to be less discrimination and judgment on anything and everything. I am someone that always tries to see something from someone else's perspective and not only in my little bubble and what I see in my head. And I feel that, you know, hopefully, you know, I know that there are a lot of anxiety and depression videos out there and videos about similar topics out there, but I really hope that these videos can get out there and more people can see them so that awareness is brought to this whole subject. And I don't want you guys to think that my life is perfect and that, you know, everything's going great. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like this past week, because of my decision not to have a job, me and my fiance like didn't buy groceries. We didn't go to the grocery store because we couldn't afford it. And that makes me feel very vulnerable saying, but it's the reality of things. And I don't want you guys to think ever that I think that I'm better than you or that I'm better than anybody, because I am not. I am equal to everybody out there. And my life is a struggle sometimes. And, you know, it is what it is. It's the reality of things. And it's not perfect. I'm not perfect by any means. So I just don't want anybody to feel like they have to hide who they are, and anybody to think that they're struggling or are alone in any situation like this, because you're not. Trust me, I can almost guarantee you that I probably have felt the same way you have at some point. So if you guys are struggling with anything and you guys feel like you have nobody to talk to, please message me, DM me on Instagram. Instagram is a little bit more difficult for me to find my messages or DMs because I don't check my DMs all that often. And if you are not, like, if I don't follow you, like, it won't pop up that I have a message. I have to be following you and then it'll pop up, oh, this person sent you a message. But if I'm not, then the message like won't pop up. So I won't know I even have any messages. So your best bet is to either comment on YouTube or write a post on my Instagram and just be like, hey, I sent you a message, or try to contact me on Twitter. But yeah, if you are going through something like this or you need somebody to talk to, and you are struggling with depression and anxiety or feeling a certain way about where you are in your life, please open up about it. Tell somebody about it. Talk to somebody about it. Get it off your chest. Hiding it and keeping it in is not going to do you any good. You have to, you know, you have to talk about it to somebody, and you have to get your feelings out. And if you feel like you don't have anybody like that, or you haven't really expressed your feelings to even your family and the closest people in your life, message me and talk to me about it, and I will try to be there for anybody and everybody that has questions for me. And if you guys have any other questions or just want to know more about this, or have, you know, want me to talk about this more, or have any specific things that you want to ask me, please let me know, because I just don't want to, like I said, I just don't want anybody to think that I am a certain way, or that I feel like I'm better than anybody else, or just because I'm on here putting makeup on all the time that my life is perfect, because it's nowhere near perfect. And I just don't want anybody to think that. And if you guys are struggling with something, I don't want you guys to think that you guys can't ask me about it, because you think that I just don't know what it feels like, because I probably do. So with that being said, I don't know if this video made any sense or if it was all over the place, but I just, you know, I was trying to just say things from my heart, and just, you know, just be real with you guys. And there are so many more things that I would like to say. I would like to do more videos about this, maybe with more like collected thoughts and actually like write what I want to say down. But until then, I hope that this video can at least, you know, it helps somebody. And yeah, I just really think that if you're struggling with anxiety or depression, or feeling like you are a failure and you're not where you want to be in life, that, you know, you just have to push yourself, and giving up isn't an option. And find somebody that you can talk to about these things on the days that you're having bad days. And we'll all get there one day. It may take months, it may take years, but we will all eventually be where we want to be in life. And if you can hear chickens in the background, I'm so sorry. You just have to believe in yourself, and you have to stay positive. And I know it's hard, but you have to, for your own sake and sanity. So yeah, I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.